Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're going to go over OpenAI and Chuck Norris Jokes API. We're basically going to do image generation. So first and foremost, I'm using Google Colab, so I'm going to import my drive. This is optional as you can add your key or your text file to the temporary file directory. But here I'm accessing the file through the content drive on my Google Drive, then accessing the specific folder. In packages, I'm going to install OpenAI and then clear that output so my notebook looks a lot cleaner, but you don't have to. And I'm going to import all the packages that I believe are important, which is the ability to change directory, make requests, OpenAI itself, downloading the images, and also displaying the image. In my directory, I'm going to change it to that folder path so I can just quickly access the API key. I'm going to list the contents of what's in there. With that in mind, I'm going to assign authentication key, and I'm going to open that text file as a README file, noticed as R, as file, and I'm just going to read the first line. So it's just the API key in there. And I'm going to print for you the first 5 characters to show you what it looks like when it's actually 51 characters in length. With that in mind, let's continue. In the Chuck Norris API, the API is nice and easy. I don't need an API key for Chuck Norris. I define a function called generateChuck. It doesn't have any inputs because I don't need to pass an API key. I don't need to pass a prompt. I'm just going to reuse it. I'm going to send a request to that link, store it in response. Then I'm going to use .json, and it's going to return for me a dictionary. In that dictionary, there is a key called value, and I'm going to assign it to Chuck data text. That will give me the actual value based on that key, and I'm going to return that Chuck data text. When I do that, I can call my function and print it, and it will return that value, that random joke, which is when the Terminator said, "I'll be back," he was going to seek the help of Chuck Norris. I think that's great. Great to start off. So I'm going to go to OpenAI. In OpenAI, you need an API key to be assigned, so I assign it to my authentication key. Then I'm going to define this function. By using prompt as a parameter, I'm going to pass in some type of text. For example, on the bottom here, I'm going to pass in QPuppy. The OpenAI is going to create an image based on that prompt. It's going to create one image by 256 by 256. It's going to return a dictionary as I printed below. In that dictionary, it has a couple of values or keys. One is created, one is data. I'm going to access the data key. In there is an array, and then there is a dictionary. So I do that by going bracket 0 and then bracket URL to pass in the key, which gives me the value, which is the URL. Then I'm going to take that URL and I'm going to move to the next spot. So I'm going to assign that URL to a variable, retrieve that URL using request. It's going to download that image to my directory. Once I have the image, I can just open and display, and we get a QPuppy. It could be random. I had no idea it would be a great picture, right? So once I have that, I'm going to do my Chuck image generation. I'm going to assign Chuck data text to generateChuck. Now, instead of the one before, I think the quote was much better. I got this one. It's pretty cheesy, but okay, I'll work with it. So I can call my OpenAI image create, get the Chuck response, print that Chuck data text, which is what we're going to get, do the exact same thing, and I get this image below. Now, if you're a little bit lost on how I got the documentation, it's really straightforward with OpenAI. They have a very detailed documentation, and you can see it's almost word for word the same way I did it. To get an API key, you have to sign up. And when you do sign up, they will hide your keys and you won't be able to reveal them. So make sure you keep track of them, or you just delete them. And for the Chuck Norris Jokes API, It's really straightforward. I could have gone with different categories or queried another way, but I think random just gives us an easy head start. With that, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned and subscribe. I'll have a second part where I'll host it on some type of platform. With that, take care and good luck with your journey. Peace.